Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, along to the next episode of the X-Files Season 1. Last week we watched... Why do I always forget? I only recorded it the other day. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. We watched Shapes. It was a good episode as well, I don't know why I forgot that. So yeah, we watched Shapes, and that was an episode about a shapeshifter. I kept calling it a werewolf, which is kind of incorrect, because it was a shapeshifter that had a specific name in that folklore. I just kept calling it a werewolf because it's kind of the closest thing that I knew to what it was, a person that transformed into a wolf and killed people. See, that one was more of a case of, it wasn't about moonlight, more so than it was about, I think it was about rage or something. But it was quite a good episode. It had quite a good pace to it. Whereas some episodes of X-Files, at least in the latter half of the season, I felt I've been quite slow. And that one had quite a good pace. It wasn't like I didn't keep checking the time or anything like that. So it moved along at a good pace. It had some really good practical effects. And yeah, for a shapeshifty episode, it was pretty interesting. This episode, I'm really excited to jump into, actually. I'm really excited because it's called Darkness Falls. So, I have a story about this episode. It's one of the few that I do have quite a vivid memory of specific parts of it. So, my brother was the one that got me into X-Files. He's a few years older than me, and he used to watch it from when we were both pretty young. But I know, because we moved to the house that I got this memory of when I was 6. And it mustn't have been long after we moved in because I had a specific bed that was like, do you know, we have a bed that it's climb up to, and underneath I had like a wardrobe and like a little desk area or whatever, storage. And I was in that bed, and what I remember is that we watched X-Files one night, the family, and Darkness Falls was the episode it was on, and it scared the crap out of me. So much so that when I went to bed, I remember, because it was through the door of the bedroom, obviously, because I was the youngest, I was meant to bed early, I could see light underneath it. And I was carrying on the side of my bed, watching like that light to see if like green bugs would come through. I don't know what it was about the episode that really just freaks me out as a kid. I just thought it was really scary, really well done. And so I'm really excited to jump into it, because I've watched it again since that time, obviously. I watched it at least once in the past 20 plus years since I first watched it. But even then I thought it was a really good episode, a really strong horror episode. By the way, if I sound like I'm full of a cold, really bunged up, I can feel it here. I was about to start recording before, then I had like a major sneezing fit out of nowhere. I didn't have a cold when I woke up, so I don't know if I'm getting a cold or if it's just like it'll come and it'll go, because I get like this kind of thing all the time. That's just the way my immune system works. So I apologise if it's irritating. I'm going to try and just power through. So let's jump into Season 1, Episode 20, Darkness Falls. If you enjoyed this reaction, please let me know down below what you thought, and subscribe for the rest of Series 1 of X-Files.
Somebody has to go for help.
What about the rest of us? What are we supposed to do? Just wait here till help arrives?
We have to take a chance. One of us has to hike out.
That person might not make it in time. He might not make it down to the road before nightfall.
I don't remember this bit at all.
I say we make a run for it. Split up, take our
I'm guessing they've encountered this
It's suicide, Dyer.
bug thing that's killing people.
Stay here. Tell us how it turns out.
I do have to laugh at these kind of things. Like, they're all running away now, but why wouldn't they have run away earlier? Like, if you know there's something wrong in the forest, my first thought would be just to get out, just leave. But maybe that's not the right thing to do. I don't know. No. It's literally just like green pixels on the screen. But it used to scare me so much. I don't know why. I think because I know, obviously, things that happen in the rest of the episode, but I don't like bugs at the best of times. So, creepy green bugs in the middle of a forest. No.
30 loggers working a clear-cutting contract in Washington State. In a word, they vanished. Or so it would appear.
They didn't. Insecty things, kid, brother.
Stephen Teague. They call themselves monkey wrenchers, the guys who drive spikes into trees, sabotage logging equipment, and otherwise make life miserable for lumberjacks and lumber mills. In 1934, long before anyone even knew what an eco-terrorist was, a WPA crew working that same area vanished without a trace.
Okay.
Not one of those men was ever found or heard
So
from
these
again.
insects have been there for a long time.
Not likely. That's a lot of flannel to be choking down, even for Bigfoot.
I have no quarrel with these eco-terrorists in principle. I mean, I'm as concerned for this forest and the environment as anybody.
Yeah.
Methods I can't condone.
I don't agree with like taking down forests and stuff. I mean, we need all this kind of stuff to live. It's a beautiful part of the world. And people just tear it down all the time, and it is wrong.
Steve Humphreys, head of security for ship Emigrant Lumber.
Mulder, Scully.
Well, we've got a 4-hour drive ahead of us. Plenty of time to get to know each other.
So these forests are like
Impression
humongous.
that we walked into the middle of a war that's already started.
Yeah, yeah. These forests they're so big that you can easily get lost in them. That's really scary to me. Because I like forests and like woods and stuff as an idea, and they are beautiful, lovely to walk around, but they're scary. Christ.
Homemade tire spec. Clear through the sidewall. It's unfixable.
You got a spare, don't you?
Right tire's history, too. The monkey wrenchers call it a caltrop. The roads back here are littered with them.
Look at that.
Oh,
What is it?
spiderweb.
Looks like a hive.
Stuff like that really scares, genuinely really scares me. Because I've got such bad arachnophobia and stuff like that. But oh,
You all right, Scully?
something brought it up into the tree. Oh, it's so creepy. Yeah. Oof.
Oh God. It feels desiccated, hard and dry, almost preserved.
Like it's been embalmed.
No, more like all the fluids have been bled from his body.
She don't want to touch her gloves on. She got gloves.
Almost like it's been
Oh,
cured.
Scully.
Doug Spinney. Ought to shoot you where you stand.
Might as well shoot yourself, too.
You're in a hell of a spot to be testing me. What happened to my men?
What, man?
The men who were working this camp.
They gone, brother. Gone.
Why did you say the darkness was our enemy?
That's when they come.
When who comes?
Hell.
I don't know what it is. They come from the sky. Take a man right off his feet and devour him alive. I saw it happen.
I mean, you saw it in the tree, Scully, so believe.
We pay for the right to take those trees.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got news for you. Your logging crew is taking trees that nobody has a right to, trees that are marked and protected. So don't talk to me.
That doesn't
about
surprise
breaking
me.
the law.
These logging companies do not give a
Taking
shit.
marked trees?
They just care about money.
Old growth trees? You know anything about that, Steve?
You do, don't you, brother? Dickhead. He knows perfectly well what they're up to.
You gonna take this man's word over mine?
Yes. Because you've been aggressive the whole time and he hasn't.
You don't want to go out in the night.
Let him go.
Take my word on that.
Let him die. I don't care. He's an awful person.
Out there.
What? I go out that door, somebody's gonna attack me, eat me alive, and spin me in his web.
We can hope.
Standing here since before time, and your men cut it down.
And it's
Who
marks.
marks
Yeah.
these trees?
Federal Forest Service. You're only supposed to cut trees marked with a blue X.
What would this represent?
Ooh.
I don't know. I've never seen a ring like that before.
No center rings are the older rings, right?
Yeah, every ring represents a season of growth. You see these? These are 500, 600 years old.
Wow.
I don't know. I should take a core sample.
Hey, we finished with this nature walk?
Oh, what is your problem?
I just want to take a core sample of this tree, Steve.
Hey, I got families down there who want some answers about their loved ones, and so do you. Answers that aren't gonna be found in that tree.
See, every time I've watched this, I don't remember how annoying this character is. I don't remember this character at all. I probably blocked him out of my memory, but dear God, I want to kill him. Yes, it's time to die. Oh, you believe it now, don't you? Now that it's coming towards you. Somehow, I'm afraid it's going to be a little bit too late. I hope. Couldn't happen to a better person, to be honest. The only problem with this is it's a shame that he's not going to be able to like live, I presume, to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Because that would be satisfying, but shit happens, right?
And these rings represent a history of climatic changes, which means that in this year or season in the life of the tree, there was some kind of strange event that produced an abnormal ring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like what exactly?
A volcanic eruption. This whole chain of mountains running from Washington to Oregon is still extremely active. What if it's some kind of extinct insect larvae in that ring? Deposited during a period of volcanic activity brought up through the tree's root system. Ancient insect
Trapped in the
eggs.
tree sort of thing, and then
Thousands, maybe millions of years
if they cutting it down, as
dormant
released, like I said
until-
before.
Just cut down that tree.
Yeah. Scary thought, like a dinosaur insect, basically. In for lack of a better term.
Why are you sneaking around?
Freddy. Forest Service guy wouldn't go for it. He'd never trust me.
He's got no reason to. Neither do I.
Look, I can save us all, man. We've got a Jeep.
He has helped
Just
them
2
since the
valleys
start.
over. All it needs is a battery. Now, I could get there. I could be back here in the morning. We can all drive out tomorrow.
You mean he's gone?
He's coming
He
back.
left early this morning.
Hopefully.
Took a battery and some gas. He's gonna come back for us in the morning.
What, he give you his personal guarantee on that?
He gave me his word, yeah.
You stop to think that the man who gave you his word has made an art out of sabotage?
I think he'll come back.
At least now we got one chance.
Oh no. I think this is the kind of things that scared me when I was a kid. You can just see that little bugs under the...
You guys, look at this. Look, they're coming through the wall down where
Yeah,
it starts.
that kind of stuff. Hated it. Hated it, hated it, hated it.
They're on me.
Careful, 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 careful. Ooh.
Stop it! Stop it!
You see them? Mulder, get them off me!
They're not just on you. They're everywhere. I think that's what that greasy residue is over everything.
I thought we were supposed to be safe in the light.
We are.
So they're
The
on...
light keeps them from swarming.
Right, okay.
We'll be safe as long as we stay in the light.
It must be that kind of stuff that just even just now is like a primal fear. Like they aren't everything, but just because you're in the light, it protects you from dying. Well, no. No thank you. Oh, shoot. I'd be so scared if I was there. Okay, that's the sunlight, so I think they're okay. I mean, it was a really stupid thing of Waller to do to let them go like that with the gas and stuff, because like I say, it's their only way out of there. They should have just gone, and they should have left ages ago. I mean, luckily,
You hear that?
I hated him.
Car.
Is that spinning?
We gotta move. Let's go.
See?
Go.
Oh.
Out of there!
Uh-oh.
Back in the car!
We already know cars aren't like sealed enough though. Bye. See, it's coming in the car. Right, see, I know that Mulder and Scully aren't dead. Why aren't they dead, is the question. Unless they don't die straight away, they get kept there for a while, and that's what kills them. See, they're moving.
Our entomologists are still trying to determine the specific epithet of the insects you encountered.
Mm-hmm.
She's still not out of the woods, so to speak. She lost a lot of fluids. 2 or 3 more hours of exposure.
Right, okay.
Might not have made it.
I was going to say, I thought that might be it. They were just
Trip to the forest.
rescued before they died, sort of thing. Like, they were dying.
How you
But
gonna
luckily,
contain it to the
yeah.
forest? What if the swarm migrates?
The government has initiated eradication procedures. They're quite certain that by using a combination of controlled burns and pesticides, they will be successful.
I mean, I know that the insects I don't think ever get touched on again, so they must have worked. But it just always, because it's X-Files, when the government get involved, it always sounds really ominous and that they're up to no good, but yeah. Spooky. Okay guys, that was Series 1, Episode 20, Darkness Falls. And to be honest, it was as freaky as I remember it being as a kid. I don't think I was as scared this time because I knew kind of what was coming and kind of some of the beats of the episode. But I think just as someone who doesn't like insects, I don't like being in the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark, but I think like darkness plus something trying to kill you, then I'd be afraid. Being in the woods, the middle of the woods, I don't particularly like. So all those kind of things, just for me, add up to quite a freaky episode. And just when it's one of those things that scared you a lot as a kid, sometimes those fears just come through with you to being an adult. So yeah, there's just elements of it that have just stayed with me for most of my life that just freak me out. I think a big part of it as well is like the cocoons that they go into. Because I have such bad arachnophobia, I hate spider webs. Anytime I walk through one, like, do you know, sometimes you just walk through like a little one you don't even see, it freaks me out. So the thought of being like cocooned inside essentially what looks like a giant spider web, even though it's not a spider web, it's a cocoon by these insects. But yeah, I just don't like it. But it's a really good episode. Elements of it I also think I like because it reminds me of one of my favourite movies of all time, which is Friday the 13th, just being in a cabin in the middle of the woods. I enjoy that kind of environment. So Friday the 13th, Evil Dead, Cabin in the Woods, that kind of thing, I always enjoy, because there's always an element of like the rustic living, the wood cabins, generators, and it's just a lot more. It's not about technology and phones and computers and all this high-tech stuff usually. It's just very like low-tech, primal. I don't even know the words I'm trying to think of, but it tends to be able to use the brains a lot more than just relying on guns and technology and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the actual insects themselves were a really interesting concept, that they were essentially ancient bugs that basically, I think they said that there was a volcano and they got trapped in a tree, in these trees, but then because these lumber companies are cutting down the trees, they're releasing these bugs that have been basically hibernating for hundreds of years, which is a really cool concept because it's not bugs that we know, so the threat is different. It's not just, right, here's the bug, I know what it is, let's get an expert in, this is how we stop it. It's, we need to figure out how this bug that we've never encountered works, how does it survive, how does it kill, how does it live, and then we can try and work out from there what to do to survive, basically. So that was quite a cool, interesting idea, and yeah. I was surprised, because I've seen it a couple of times over the course of my life, but I don't remember a lot of the specific characters. The spinny guy looked familiar when he came on screen, but that guy who worked for the lumber companies, God, I hated him. I really hated him. He's the character as good as my memory is, that I've hated the most this season. I might be wrong in that, but from the top of my memory, I don't remember any episode in X-Files so far that I've been really angrily against as much as this guy. He was just so aggressive the whole time, and whilst he might have some ideas, some good points, I don't know, he's one of these people that rams his opinion down your throat and just abuses you, and abuses you, and abuses you, and shouts insults, and just says these horrible things, so that whether you have a good point or not, no one's going to listen to you. So I hated him. I'm so glad that he died. It's an awful thing to say, because you shouldn't really wish the death of anybody, but I didn't like him at all. I was sad that Spinny probably died, because he just ran off into the forest, because whilst I don't always agree with how eco-warriors go about the business, he seemed like he was trying to save people. He came back for them like he promised he would. He seemed like quite a decent guy. It's a shame that he had to die. But it was really dark seeing Scully and Mulder like cocooned in this thing, because obviously everyone else that we've met so far that's been like that has died. So it was just weird to see them like that. Because again, it like ramps up the threat level that, oh god, they got attacked by these things, they're cocooned. How do they survive? Obviously, it turned out they weren't cocooned for long enough to die, which is good, obviously. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this episode. I just enjoy the setting, the middle of the forest. Again, another episode of X-Files that I love, that I've got a good memory of, is Detour, which I think is like season 4, 5, 6, around that time. And that's another creature in the middle of the woods, and that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid as well. So I just enjoy these kind of environments. I enjoy the characters, minus the lumberjack guy. The insects are pretty cool. And yeah, overall, it's a really good episode, really strong episode for me personally. Let me know down below what you think of the episode Darkness for Season 1, Episode 20 of The X-Files. Did you enjoy it? Did you get freaked out like I did? I'm guessing you probably won't get freaked out if you watched it as an adult, because it's... I don't know. Let me know down below. I'm not sure. As always, guys, my name is Scott. Hope you guys are well, staying care of yourselves and staying safe. There's only 4 episodes left of Series 1, so not long to go until we finish the season. Thanks for watching. Take care. Subscribe for the rest of Series 1. I'll see you all soon for the next episode of The X-Files. Bye, guys. See you soon.